Ma'am, your father coded twice last night. We need a family member to make decisions about his care since your mother left the country and turned off her phone. The ICU nurse's words hit me like ice water as I stood in the doorway of room 314, staring at the man who'd raised me now connected to a ventilator, while Instagram showed my mother and siblings toasting champagne on a Balinese beach. But the real shock wasn't their abandonment, it was discovering I was the only name on Dad's medical power of attorney, and the only person with access to the $20 million he'd hidden from the family vultures. My hands trembled as I scrolled through my sister Natalie's Instagram story, living our best life. #BaliBliss #family vacation, posted 6 hours ago. In the background, my mother Gloria raised a martini, her fresh Botox making her smile unnaturally tight. My brother Carson was doing shots with some local girls. My other sister, Philippa, was getting a massage on the beach. Meanwhile, their father, my father, lay dying alone in Mercy General, his chest rising and falling only because a machine forced it to. How long has he been here? I asked the nurse, Sandra, according to her badge. 9 days, the stroke was massive. He's been on life support for a week. She consulted her chart. Your mother signed the admission papers but said she had a pre-planned trip that couldn't be cancelled. She left you as the emergency contact. She left me? I hadn't spoken to my family in 3 years. Not since the fight that drove me away. Are you sure? Sandra showed me the paperwork. There it was, in Dad's shaky handwriting, emergency medical decision maker, Theodora King, daughter. Not Mom, not Golden Boy Carson, not the twins, Natalie and Philippa, who'd never left home and lived off Dad's credit cards. Me, the black sheep who'd been told I was no longer part of the family. There's more, Sandra said gently. Your father was conscious for a few hours after the stroke. He insisted on seeing a lawyer. Made some changes. She handed me an envelope with my name on it. Inside, documents that made my blood run cold, power of attorney, medical directives, and a note in Dad's handwriting. Thea, they'll let me die for the money. You're the only one who ever loved me for me. I'm sorry for everything. The account information is in my safe. You know the combination, your real birthday, not the one your mother told everyone. Dad. My real birthday, the day I was actually born, 2 months premature. Not the date Mom had told everyone so people wouldn't know she'd gotten pregnant before the wedding. Only Dad and I knew the truth. I need a minute, I told Sandra. Of course, but Thea, we need to know about the DNR. Your mother signed one, but your father's lawyer says you have override power now. I looked at the machines keeping Dad alive, at the man who'd been weak when I needed him to be strong, who'd let Mom and my siblings treat me like an outsider, but who'd apparently seen the truth in the end. My phone buzzed. A notification from the family group chat I'd been removed from years ago, except now I was somehow back in it. Carson, holy shit. The cards aren't working. Natalie, mine too. The hotel says they're declined. Philippa, Mom, what's happening? Gloria, must be a bank error. I'll call them. I knew what had happened. Dad had made me power of attorney. That included financial power of attorney. And the first thing I'd done while sitting in that hospital room was freeze every account I had access to. My phone rang. Mom. What did you do? She screeched without preamble. Hello to you too, Gloria. Enjoying Bali? The accounts are frozen, all of them. The bank says someone with power of attorney. That would be me, I said calmly. Dad's power of attorney, legal and financial. Funny how you forgot to mention he was in the ICU when you left for vacation. Silence. Then, how did you even know? You haven't been home in years. Mrs. Patterson next door called me. Said she hadn't seen Dad in over a week and was worried. Imagine my surprise when I found out he'd had a massive stroke and his loving family had abandoned him to go party in Bali. We didn't abandon him. This trip was planned months ago. And Dad's life support? Was that planned too? The doctors said there was nothing more they could do. No point in all of us sitting around watching him die. So you left him alone, not even a private nurse, just abandoned him like he was nothing. Don't be dramatic, Theodora. You hated him anyway. After all those fights. I hated what he let you do to me, I corrected. I hated his weakness, but I never hated him. Unlike you, who only loved his wallet. How dare you? The accounts stay frozen until you come home, I interrupted. All of you, you have 24 hours. We can't just leave, the hotel, the flights. Figure it out, 24 hours, or I start making permanent changes. I hung up and blocked her number, then I did the same for my siblings. They needed to stew in their panic for a while. I turned back to Dad, pulled a chair next to his bed and took his hand. It was cold, but I could feel a weak pulse. "I'm here, Dad," I whispered. "I'm not leaving you alone again." His eyes fluttered behind closed lids. The machines beeped steadily. Sandra returned. "Have you decided about the DNR? "Tear it up," I said. "We're not giving up on him yet." She smiled sadly. "I should warn you, the insurance only covers another week. After that, it's private pay. It could be hundreds of thousands." Money isn't an issue. Not anymore. Not with what I'd found in Dad's files. I spent the next hours going through the documents Dad had left. The real shock wasn't the 20 million he'd hidden from Mom, it was how he'd hidden it. Trusts in my name, accounts opened when I was a baby, properties purchased under LLCs that listed me as sole beneficiary. He'd been planning this for 30 years, ever since the day he'd discovered Mom's first affair. There was a letter in the safe, yellow with age. "My dear Theodora. If you're reading this, then I've finally found the courage to do what I should have done when you were born. Your mother never wanted you. When she got pregnant, she tried to convince me you weren't mine, but I knew better. You have my mother's eyes, my grandfather's stubborn chin. You were mine from the moment I first held you. I've been weak. I let them treat you poorly because I was afraid of losing them too, but I've watched you grow strong despite us. You're the only real thing in this family of facades. The money is yours. It was always meant to be yours. Your mother doesn't know about most of it, she was never as clever as she thought. Use it to build the life you deserve. All my love. Dad." I was crying when my phone buzzed. The family group chat had exploded. "Natalie, the hotel is kicking us out. They want immediate payment. Carson, this is insane. That money is family money. Philippa, Thea, stop being a vindictive bitch. Gloria, I'm calling our lawyer." I typed one response. "Your lawyer is Harold Manning, right? Check your email." I'd already contacted Harold, Dad's attorney, sent him the power of attorney documents. He'd confirmed what I already knew. As Dad's legal representative, I controlled everything until he either recovered or passed. My phone rang. Unknown international number. "What?" I answered. "Thea?" Carson's voice. Panicked. "Look, I get it. We've been shitty, but we're stuck here. No credit cards, no access to cash. The hotel is threatening to call the police. Then you better find a way home." "We can't. The airlines won't change our tickets without payment." "Sounds like a you problem." "For fuck's sake, Thea, we could be arrested." "Then I guess you better hope the Balinese jails have good Wi-Fi for all those Instagram posts." I hung up. The next 12 hours were a blur of increasingly frantic messages. They tried everything: guilt, rage, threats, even attempts at kindness. Natalie sent old photos of us as kids, before she'd learned from Mom that I was the expendable one. Carson tried brotherly concern. Philippa attempted tears. Gloria just sent threats, legal ones, mostly, all of which Harold assured me were baseless. But the real entertainment came from their social media. The influencer twins, who usually posted every hour, went dark. Carson's girlfriend started posting worried messages about not being able to reach him. Their friends began asking if everything was okay. The family facade was cracking in real time. Hour 18. Sandra found me dozing in the chair beside Dad. "Thea, there's been a change." I jerked awake, heart pounding, but she was smiling. "He's showing signs of increased brain activity. His pupils are responding. It might be nothing, but it's something. The doctors want to try reducing the sedation. See if he responds. With your permission? Do it." As they adjusted his medications, my phone rang. "Harold." "Thea, I've had an interesting call. Your mother is at the U.S. Embassy in Bali. She's claiming you've stolen family funds and demanding they intervene. And they laughed at her. Turns out power of attorney is legal in Bali too. However, she's managed to scrape together enough cash to buy tickets home. They'll be landing in about 6 hours. Good. Are you prepared for what comes next? They'll come straight to the hospital. Let them come. Thea, I feel I should tell you something. Your father and I discussed this scenario. If he recovered, he planned to divorce your mother and disinherit the others. He said you were the only one who'd ever visited him without asking for money." I looked at Dad, still unconscious but fighting. "He never told me any of this. He was ashamed, but he loved you, more than you know." After Harold hung up, I sat with Dad in the quiet ICU, held his hand, talked to him about everything and nothing, told him about my life in Seattle, the coffee shop I'd opened with my savings, the woman I was dating who made me laugh, the life I'd built without them. "I forgive you," I whispered, "for being weak, for not protecting me. I forgive you." His hand twitched in mine. so slight I might have imagined it. Hour 22. They arrived. I heard them before I saw them, Gloria's shrill voice demanding to see her husband, Carson's blustering threats about lawsuits, the twins whining about their ruined vacation. They burst into the ICU like a storm of designer clothes and righteous fury. Gloria led the charge, her vacation tan clashing with her furious expression. "You little bitch," she hissed. "How dare you?" "Mrs. King?" Sandra stepped between us. "This is an ICU. If you can't maintain appropriate behavior, I'll have security escort you out." "I'm his wife. And she's his medical power of attorney," Sandra said calmly. "Legally, she makes the decisions." Gloria turned to Dad, and for the first time since they'd arrived, actually looked at him. Her face went pale beneath the tan. "He looks like he's dying?" I supplied. "Yes, that's what happens when you abandon someone on life support to go party in Bali." "We didn't abandon him, we thought. You thought he'd die while you were gone and you'd come back to an inheritance," Carson said bluntly. Everyone turned to stare at him. "What? We're all thinking it." At least he was honest. "Except there won't be an inheritance," I said. "Not for you." "You can't do that," Natalie shrieked. "That money belongs to all of us." "Actually, it belongs to Dad, and he gave me the power to protect it, which I will." "From his family?" Philippa demanded. "From the vultures who left him to die alone? Yes." Gloria pulled out her phone. "I'm calling our lawyer. Harold? He's already chosen sides." Dad's side, which, coincidentally, is my side now. "You poisoned him against us." "No, Gloria, you did that all by yourselves. Every time you spent his money while mocking him behind his back, every time you cheated and thought he didn't know, every time you treated his love like an ATM machine. At least we stayed," she spat. "We didn't run away like a coward." "You're right, you stayed, and you bled him dry while smiling to his face. Which is worse, the daughter who left to save herself, or the family who stayed to feast on his corpse?" "He's not dead yet," Carson protested. "No thanks to you." A soft sound from the bed made us all freeze. Dad's eyes were open, unfocused, confused, but open. "Dad?" I grabbed his hand. "Dad, can you hear me?" His eyes found mine, focused with effort. His lips moved, no sound coming out. "Get the doctor," Sandra called, rushing to check his vitals. But Dad's hand gripped mine with surprising strength. His eyes moved to Gloria and the others, then back to me. The corner of his mouth twitched in what might have been a smile. Then he closed his eyes again. The doctor rushed in, pushing us all back. "Everyone out, now." In the hallway, we stood in awkward silence. Gloria was crying, real tears or performative. I couldn't tell. The siblings huddled together, whispering. I stood apart, as always. "He recognized us," Natalie said softly. "He's going to be okay." "Maybe," I said, "but okay or not, things are going to change." "You can't keep us from our father," Gloria said. "I won't, but I will protect him. From all of you, if necessary. We're his family. So am I. The only difference is, I came back when he needed me. You came back when your credit card stopped working." The doctor emerged. "He's responsive, weak, but responsive. It's a good sign. We'll run more tests, but this is better than we hoped." "Can we see him?" Gloria asked. "One at a time, and keep it brief." The doctor looked at me. "As his medical POA, you decide who goes first." I felt the weight of their stares, the expectation that I'd follow the family hierarchy, wife first, then eldest son, then the twins, the same order that had always put me last. "I'll go," I said, "then we'll see." Gloria started to protest, but Carson stopped her. "Let her, she's holding all the cards." Smart boy, maybe there was hope for him yet. I sat with Dad for 10 minutes. He drifted in and out, but when he was conscious, his eyes found mine. When I told him the others were here, his heart rate spiked, not in a good way. "It's okay," I assured him. "I'm handling it, you just focus on getting better." He squeezed my hand, mouthed something that looked like sorry. "I know, Dad, we'll talk about it when you're stronger." When I came out, I made a decision that surprised even me. "He's tired, but he wants to see you, one at a time, 5 minutes each. Gloria first." They filed in one by one. I watched through the window as each had their moment. Gloria cried and begged forgiveness, though for what, she didn't specify. Carson stood awkwardly, talked about sports. The twins took selfies until Sandra stopped them. Afterwards, we gathered in the family conference room. "So what now?" Carson asked. "You've made your point, we're here, We're sorry, what do you want? I want Dad to recover without stress. I want him to get the care he needs without worrying about your spending. I want him to know he's loved for more than his money. We do love him, Philippa said weakly. Then prove it. Show up every day, not for money, not for Instagram, but because he's your father. Can you do that? They exchanged glances. And the accounts? Will be managed appropriately. Medical expenses first, then living expenses, reasonable ones. The rest stays frozen until Dad can make his own decisions again. That could be months, Gloria protested. Then you better learn to budget. Carson, you still have that job at the firm, right? And the twins. You both have degrees you've never used. Maybe it's time. You expect us to work? Natalie gasped. I expect you to be adults, for once. The next weeks were a revelation. Dad improved slowly but steadily. The family, forced to live on Carson's salary and whatever jobs the twins could find, began to change. Not dramatically, not completely, but in small ways. Gloria took a part-time job at a boutique. The twins started a styling business that actually took off. Carson worked harder at the firm, got promoted on his own merit. And they showed up. Every day, someone was there with Dad, reading to him, watching TV with him, just sitting quietly as he slept. Were they perfect? No. Gloria still complained about the account restrictions. The twins still posted everything on social media. Carson still talked too much about money. But they were there. And Dad noticed, as he grew stronger, more aware, he watched them with wonder. This family that had taken him for granted was finally seeing him as a person, not a bank account. 3 months later, Dad was released to a rehabilitation facility. As we packed up his room, he pulled me aside. The money, he whispered, what I left for you, it's still yours. I know, Dad. I mean it, whatever happens with the others, that's yours. You earned it by being the only one who loved me without a price tag. Dad. No, let me say this, I was a coward. I let them hurt you because I was afraid to be alone. But you were brave enough to leave, and brave enough to come back. I'm proud of you, Thea. I love you too, Dad. 6 months later, Dad was home, walking with a cane, speaking slowly but clearly. The family gathered for his first Sunday dinner back at the house. It wasn't perfect. Gloria still drank too much wine. The twins still gossiped meanly. Carson still dominated conversations. But when Dad raised his glass for a toast, they all fell silent. To second chances, he said, and to Thea, who saved us all. They drank, some more willingly than others. Later, as I helped Dad to his chair, he whispered, I'm changing my will, fairly this time. Everyone gets something, but you get what you deserve. I already have what I wanted, Dad, a family that shows up. Do you forgive them? I looked at Gloria laughing at something Carson said, at the twins actually helping with dishes, at this imperfect, difficult, slowly healing family. I'm working on it. And me, do you forgive me? I kissed his forehead. Already done, Dad, already done. The family trust was never fully restored. How could it be? But something new grew in its place, something more honest, if more fragile. And every Sunday, we gathered, not for money or appearances, but because that's what families do, even broken ones, even families held together by nothing more than stubborn love and frozen bank accounts. Sometimes that's enough. Sometimes that's everything.